Hey everyone, welcome to Voices of Auntie Zoe. If you enjoy my stories and want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to have you join the community. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date on my latest videos. In the quiet embrace of Richmond, London, where the Thames River flowed with a gentle persistence, the lives of the Stevens family wived and wangled their way through tradition and change. I was Eleanor Stevens, a woman in my early 60s with a fondness for old books, gardens, and the unspoken rules of a family home. My husband, James, had inherited this cozy Victorian house from his parents, a place with creaky floors, a study full of leather-bound novels, and a garden that spilled onto the street like a green whisper. Our son, Oliver, had married Lily Marshall, a graphic designer with a spark in her eyes and a laugh that lit up rooms, a few years ago. They lived with us, blending into the rhythms of our modest but comfortable life by the river. James worked as a professor of literature at a local university, while I volunteered at the Richmond Library, where the scent of old pages was a comfort. It was a pleasant arrangement, until the evening the suitcases appeared. It was a Thursday in late September, the trees along the riverbank dressed in gold and amber, when Lily stood by the front door with 2 suitcases packed, looking both determined and uncertain. I was in the kitchen, finishing dinner, roast chicken with rosemary, a family recipe. The aroma wafted through the hallway as I walked over, wiping my hands on a towel. "Did you ask the owner of the house for permission?" I asked her, the question coming out lighter than I'd meant, curiosity threading through it. Lily's green eyes flashed a mix of surprise and a hint of defensitation. "Permission for what, Eleanor? We live here, don't we?" Her voice was polite but held an undercurrent, one I chose not to ignore. I smiled gently, leading her to the kitchen for a pause, pouring her a cup of Earl Grey from the pot. "It's just that James's parents left this house to him. It's a bit of a family thing. I thought it'd be polite to involve him if you're planning something different." Lily took the mug, her shoulders relaxing a fraction as the steam rose. "I wasn't planning to move out, exactly," she said, her gaze drifting to the garden outside, where shadows played among the hydrangeas. "I just want a bit of space for us, for Oliver and me. We feel a bit swallowed sometimes." I nodded, memories flooding in, the Sunday roasts, James's father's rules about noise after 10 p.m., the constant hum of tradition that had felt safe for so long. "I understand, dear. Boundaries are healthy. Let's talk to Oliver, and we'll involve James. Maybe we can make a little nook of our own in the attic? It's dusty up there, but it could be lovely." Oliver walked in just then, phone in hand, a distracted look clearing as he sensed the air. "What's going on?" he asked, glancing between us. Lily stood, her voice even. "I was just talking to your mum about needing some space. For us." He set his things down, moving to put an arm around her. "We can talk about it, yeah? Maybe make the attic into a studio, like you wanted, Lil." James came home an hour later, loosened his tie, and joined us in the living room with a chuckle. "Sounds like we need a family powwow," he said, settling into his armchair. We talked through it, the four of us, with cups of tea and a plate of biscuits cooling on the table. James leaned forward, listening more than speaking, as Lily explained how she felt lost in the overlaps, the constant visits from his relatives, the expectations of dinners every Sunday, the lack of a corner that felt purely theirs. "It's not that we don't love it here," she clarified, her hands tightening around her mug. "It's just, we want to write our own lines too." James nodded slowly. "The house is ours, yes, but it's bigger than just one part of us. How about this? We clear out the attic, make it a studio for you. Oliver and you pick the decor. We'll adjust the Sunday dinners, maybe make them potlucks? And I'll handle the relatives, make sure they understand." Lily's smile grew, tentative but real. Oliver squeezed her hand under the table. We spent the rest of the evening sketching plans, measuring the dusty attic, imagining shelves for books and a desk by the slanted window that overlooked the river. The suitcases didn't move that night, but something shifted. Over the following weeks, Lily, started painting the attic walls with murals of London's bridges. Oliver cooked experimental dinners that made us laugh, and James rediscovered his old love of sketching the Thames. I handled the explanations with the Patels, the extended family, making it clear we were adjusting, not breaking. One Sunday, we had a potluck instead of a formal dinner. Lily made a stunning spinach and feta tart. Oliver pulled out his guitar. The relatives arrived, curious, and left with smiles, sensing the change wasn't a loss but a widening. As autumn deepened, the house felt less like a given, more like a space being shaped. We argued, of course, about noise levels, about whose turn it was to wash dishes, but the air grew lighter. One evening, as rain dripped down the windows and the river flowed silver beneath the streetlights, Lily leaned into me in the kitchen. "Thank you," she said, her voice low, "for not making me feel wrong." "Home is about making space," I told her, squeezing her hand. "Not just permission, but belonging." The story didn't end with fireworks or resolutions. It kept unfolding, like the Thames flowing quiet through London, adjusting its banks. James learned to ask before suggesting. Oliver and Lily found corners to breathe, to create. And I found a new way to let go. In the end, the house remained a bridge between worlds, a place of ownership and shared heartbeat. And maybe that was the point, in the weight of it all, finding lightness. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.